Lil, why don't you just take a seat?
Why does it feel like my brother's about to break up with me?
That's very astute of you because I actually am.
Wait, are you kicking me out?
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So I'm so excited today to be talking all things With Love Season 2 with Lily Diaz herself, Emeraude Toubia. Thank you for coming on the show today, Emeraude.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, so I got a lot of questions for you regarding Season 2 in the show. Myself, actually just recently got introduced to the show. So I just went through, watched all of Season 1. I'm about like halfway through Season 2 right now. Lily is a character, I feel like, one, she's very relatable. She was just a character that I was instantly able to connect with. So we meet her, and throughout the series so far up to this point, she's a character that's learning more about herself, discovering more as she kind of goes on, and she's growing. How has playing this character helped you grow on a personal level?
Yeah, well, it's funny because I was living through some similar things that Lily was going through. I just went through a pretty big breakup a few years ago, and at the same time Lily was going through that breakup. So in a way, we're like holding each other's hand through that moment. And it's kind of like realizing that we give ourselves a bit much to our significant other. And it's okay to have a nice balance. But I was with my ex for about 12 years. So now as a 30-year-old woman, I'm like, okay, who is this new Emeraude? What are the things she likes? And what is she trying to explore? Am I trying to find true love, everlasting love? Am I trying to find someone, or am I trying to just be dating myself for a little bit? So I think that's kind of like Lily's journey. She's a little messy. I'm a little bit more organized than Lily. But I just love the fact that, today, I was talking to so many women, different ages, early 20s, mid 30s, mid 50s, and they're all dealing with how hard it is to date and to love nowadays. So again, it's navigating love. She's navigating love. She's navigating societal expectations. She's navigating family expectations. And how is she gonna set her own rules for the rest of life? What's going to make her happy instead of trying to make everyone else happy.
Exactly.
So that's kind of both of our journeys together.
And it's so weird how that can work sometimes, like you were saying, kind of going through that personal experience and then having a role that kind of had a character going through that same experience kind of at the same time. So it must have been, like you said, very cathartic kind of to play this character, I feel like.
Yeah. I'm not really a method actor. I don't really dig deep to my personal things to get into the emotional place for my character. But it was just kind of coincidence, and more like a big hug from each other, more than dealing with, it wasn't like a bad breakup or anything like that, right? It was just kind of dealing with it and having this job and Lily and just kind of letting life surprise you. Letting go, right? We want to take control of everything so much, and just letting go.
Exactly. Now there's a conversation in Season 2 that I myself, again, I was able to connect to, and just thought it was some great advice that Lily ended up getting. So there's a conversation between Lily and her aunt where Lily kind of says, I feel like my life is off the tracks right now, and I feel like I'm trying to catch up because I see all my friends, they're getting married, they're having babies, doing different things like that. And your aunt or Lily's aunt kind of says there is no track. You just kind of have to let things happen and enjoy them for, how they are at the current time. So what's a piece of advice that you've gotten, whether it's, pertaining to your career or just your personal life, that's really helped change perspective on things for you?
Yeah. It's funny. I've met Jennifer Lopez. I've hung out with Jennifer Lopez. She's a huge idol, and she's so cool and down to earth. And one of the things she told me was, you're never going to feel ready. So just go for it. You're never going to feel prepared. You're never going to feel it's the right time. There's always something. So you know what? Just do it, because it's not going to feel right today. And it's not going to feel right 10 years later. So just go for it. Just do it. And then that's one of the advices that I really like to look back on and think of when I'm doubting myself or whether I should do something, whether I don't feel prepared enough, or whether I was able to do a table read with Robert De Niro early last year. I was like, oh my God, there's no way I can do a table read with Robert De Niro. I mean, this is like the most legendary actor, and I'm, who am I? Like, how he chose me to do a table read? There's no way. And once I got there and I did it, I was like, oh my God, if I wouldn't have done this table read, I would have been the dumbest girl in the world. So it's kind of just letting go of that fear and go for it.
I think that's one of the big roadblocks for a lot of people, is just like putting up that roadblock and saying, I don't know if I can do this, but you just got to throw yourself kind of like into it and just let things happen. So I mean, that's some fantastic advice that she gave you. One of the main themes of the show is family. So I was curious, can you just talk a little bit about the family dynamic, how that's translated to your guys' relationship, whether it's working in between scenes or just like even when you guys like aren't shooting, how that's kind of translated off screen?
I mean, how do I say? I mean, obviously, this is a very fun show to shoot, right? Like, it's not that complicated. And we get to shoot special events. And all of that really just bleeds into like the behind the scenes. We are all just very grateful to be working. We're all very kind-hearted people. We all respect each other. We admire each other. And we're just, every time we come together, I'm in Austin right now. And right before I came here, Gloria had just a little get together to watch season 2. And just being around each other, we always have something to talk about, and always, talking and how we admire the scene that we did, so it's just really nice to feel comfortable and at ease, and really it has to become like home away from home, these incredible people. And I'm getting to hang out with like Mark and Isis in DC tomorrow. Then I hang out with like Rome in Miami, and it's just a really nice, great group of people that Gloria put together, really, that I think we're great, we're talented, and we have good hearts. So what else can you ask for?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, watching this series, I mean, the chemistry between all you guys is just insane. You would almost think that you guys were like an actual family, just with how you're able to play off of each other. So that's always, nice when you can have that, that off-screen relationship. One of my other favorite things about the show is just the representation that's on the show. So not only do you have people coming from different backgrounds, you also have different generations, which I thought it was really interesting to see those different perspectives. What does it mean to you to be a part of a show where representation is one of the main focuses?
Well, it's funny because it's done in a way that's not preachy. If you think about it, it's just a group of people finding love.
Yeah.
It really is. But now we have to make it a point, because guess what? There isn't shows like that out there. This is like one of its own. It's one of a kind. So it's sad that that's what we have to be, kind of like marketing or advocating for or sharing. Hey, our show is like, it's diverse. There's nothing here. But it's really just, there's people falling in and out of love. So yes, this show is more than a rom-com. There isn't like anything like it. It's putting traditionally marginalized people, and giving them a happy ending, and just having them celebrate love and celebrate life, and going through ups and downs, and not dealing with trauma that, usually people like girls like me or people like me just deal with. Right. So it's just very nice to finally have that happy ending.
I thought it's really interesting too, because where I'm like myself, I'm not familiar with some of these backgrounds, or, what some of these people are going through on a day-to-day basis. So getting to see some of that play out, some of these traditions, like on a show like Day of the Dead and stuff like that. I'm a big Halloween person like myself. So it's just really interesting to see some of that stuff. And it makes me personally, like, I want to go out and learn more about, some of these different things that I wasn't necessarily familiar with before. So one of the other things, like, so on the show, you guys, definitely more in like season 1, like I think there was like one episode where it kind of does show like a little bit of like a time loop, but like each episode will usually go from one particular holiday to the next, or it'll go to another like big like event. As an actor yourself, Emeraude, do you, or have you gone through and kind of like wondered what had maybe happened to your character, like in between the periods where you guys aren't necessarily, the audience doesn't necessarily get to see that?
I mean, No, I don't really dig deep on like where she was in between. I don't think it's like that kind of show to do it. I think it's pretty clear. Like every time you see the character in the new episode, I don't feel like any time has passed by. And obviously time has passed by, but I think we make it very clear on what has happened, how much time has by, and then it's very clear like whenever like every opening, like the date that is in. No, I think I think it's done so beautifully and so well. Like it takes a course of a day in the life of each character throughout these special events. And no, I don't really sit down and think like, what did Lily do right here at this moment?
Yeah, it was one of those things. I'm curious just because like where it was like some big time gaps, but I know not everybody, necessarily will go ahead and do that. But yeah, I mean, the way that they're able to kind of fill those gaps, like you said, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's been several weeks or several months. We're able to jump back in the series too. So you guys have done Christmas, you've done Day of the Dead, you've done birthdays. Is there any other life event or holidays that you would like to see the show tackle going forward? And what's been your favorite one so far?
Maybe a baby shower would be nice.
That would be good. I can see that would be a good episode.
Yeah. My favorite is Lily's double quinceañera. I feel like we don't celebrate ourselves. I'm really hard on myself, and sometimes I forget to sit back and think of all the things that I've accomplished. Like I think about my younger self, and I think about her dreams and aspirations, and I feel like I've accomplished them, and now I have so many more. I feel we it sounds cliche and it's oversaid, but I think it's so true. It's the journey, not the destination, because the destination keeps changing. That's one of my favorite episodes.
That's actually the episode that I just finished that episode, prior to this. That's where I'm on right now. So that was a great episode. If you could have Lily, just to kind of tie into the rom-com aspect of the show, if you could have Lily dropped into any other like rom-com movie just to interact with some of those characters, is there any particular
You don't
one?
even have to finish the question. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. That's where I want her to be. I think her and Midge would get along absolutely well. I think they both have incredibly good taste in men. I think that Lily going back into times of the 1950s maybe wouldn't be so bad, because she is very traditional. So she might do some fun stuff in that era. And I personally, as Emeraude, I feel like Latinos don't get the opportunity to be involved in period pieces. So that would be something really fun.
That would be cool. Hey, maybe some way we can figure out a way in future seasons that we can maybe do some time traveling.
Maisel is done, I know, but maybe something, right?
We could think of something.
A fun little musical or something like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is there, and just to wrap things up, Emeraude, is there anything else that you want to say to the fans about just the show in general, but just to say anything else just to them, like in general, to wrap things up?
Well, I mean, thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Continue to support, shows like us need it very much to continue to tell our stories. I hope that it creates inspiration and hope for them, and just a good warm hug that they can enjoy while hanging out with their family, their significant other, or just by themselves.
Well, hey, again, thank you so much, Emeraude, for taking time out of your schedule to come and do this. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out With Love Season 2, which is streaming now on Prime Video. And again, thank you so much, Emeraude. It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much.